Oh, the suspense is high. The blood is pumping. The heart's racing. It's the main event today, folks, for the Silver Kings Hard Enduro. And it's going to bring it.
Okay, what are you headed for? Right.
Yeah, I'm going straight ahead of me there, buddy. Straight to the finish line. Welcome to Hardcore Enduro, everyone, where it's all about getting out and riding the hard stuff. I'm George, the guy behind the bars, and the voice behind the mic. And yesterday at Prologue, I got hung up right there. That first little log, it flamed out, and that back tire just wasn't getting any traction. But today, folks, I'm getting it. Yeah. Get after it. Yeah, I was so bummed in my Prologue. You got the crowd there watching. I was like, I'm letting all my fans down. I got to be better than that. The guy left, he cases it, gets stuck. I get on. Don't make as clean pass around this turn as I did yesterday. And I didn't get the front end up there. Get a little rock back. Get through it. So I'm out in front for the Prologue today. I felt good, confidence high. Getting through this log section, I pick a different line through the tires up here. Yesterday I split the tire and I saw you could go left there in that little log, so then I decided I'm just gonna hit the little log here today. Come for the inside line, and the inside had a little dirt mound you can go over, which kind of makes it bypass the log a little bit. I feel like you know, the bronze class, they could get that, but for the silver class and definitely the gold, they got to take out all these little secret easy way outs. You know, if they're gonna make a Prologue, like, they put a lot of effort to get all these logs in here and tires and just kind of make a show for the crowd that's watching. And they should make it so there's like no easy way to get through, just because it's a good start. You know, the people in the crowd really love it. They're cheering you on. And anyways, so maybe for next year, promoters, make the Prologue so there's no cheat way through it, you know, even though everyone looks for the cheat way. All right, we got a new fresh tire on the back. Got a JX8 Dakota. It's really soft, gummy. It doesn't have the tallest knobs, but it is made for slippery rocks and slippery roots. I'm running a soft mousse. I didn't drill it out. I might try drilling them out. I'm kind of new to the mousse scene, and I still felt pretty good with my traction today. Yesterday's tire, my Ibex from Kinda, I had a lot of knobs that were torn off, and we had that big hill climb yesterday in the Prologue, and that wasn't the best, even though I knew the tire had a little bit of life. You know, I'm living on a budget and trying to maximize the use of my tires, and I felt like the Prologue, I could just use that tire. I wasn't worried about placing high or anything like that. I'm not at that level yet, but definitely feels good with the new fresh tire. Anyways, this beginning starts off the same as the Prologue. So all this, we did the Prologue yesterday, and we're gonna go through this little wood section, and it has a lot of nice roots that stick out. And this is where the JX8, it just does really good. Without a big hill climb, I think just my experience in Jawbone and Bean Canyon area, where they just got massive, really steep hill climbs. You know, the bigger the knobs, the more they grab. You know, so next year, if you have that Prologue, I'm gonna switch over to a hill climbing tire and try to one-shot those big hill climbs. And then I'd suffer probably through some of the rock sections, but the Prologue doesn't have any like crake. It didn't have any slippery rock sections other than the shale that was given away. And even with a sticky tire, it didn't matter. The rocks were given away, not your tire. So next year in the Prologue, I'm gonna run a really tall knob tire and then switch back to like a JX8 for the main body. Here's that hard left coming up, and just letting these guys get ahead of me. So today's main race for the silver class is 6-hour cutoff time, and it's a long race. And if you do hard enduro, it is like a chess game. You have to plan your strategy wisely, because if you burn up yourself in the beginning, it will eat you alive. And it made a poor run at it here. I get the back end, there's a root there. My back tire is just like hanging in the air, so I got to do a little rock back, get off, little rock back push. You don't want to do this early in the game. You don't want to be pushing this early in the game, because you're definitely going to be pushing later in the game. But you can see all these people getting through you. So hard enduros are just notorious, which I love. I've said it before. Where it's just anyone's game. I mean, people pass you left and right, running over your bike, using your foot for traction. They will dart, smash right into the side of you. It is just an all-out brawl getting up some of these nasty sections. But you got to have a good heart about it. If you get pissed off if someone throws a rock in your bike, you shouldn't be doing a hard enduro. The hard enduro, you got to expect that you're going in there for a brawl. It's going to get nasty. And if you can't take it, then you shouldn't do it. I love this, so I can take it all. Later on, it wasn't on camera. I did a pivot turn around. Yesterday I went left there. See, that guy got hung up on that log. So I went right this time. Yeah, made a little pass. Now it goes up through here, as I recall. No, it's gonna go through. So, I made this pivot turn around a tree in this really bad section, and the bike got away from me, made the pivot, got away from me, and just starts going like a missile down the hill, and just totally smashes into this guy. The guy's from Switzerland. And he had a gas, and this big old heavy 450 just plowed right into him. But he had a smile on his face. He said no problem, and he just kept on riding. So good for him. There's good people out here. I think most riders out here just have a really good, positive personality of knowing that it's going to be a brawl. So we're at it. So this is still the same as the Prologue. Doing really good. I am holding back quite a bit though. I just know it's going to be such a long race today. 6 hours I don't care what level of rider you are, it is going to test you like you've never experienced before. There's a big log ahead of me. That guy struggled a little bit. Get the front tire up, do a little rock back, get that rear tire up, pretty good. That's where that JX8 it grabs. If there's a log, a little root, the rubber's so soft, it just grabs it. All right, got a little hill climb. We did have some major hill climbs, but not like the one shot of the Prologue where it was just like full out gas on. Now I'm sure the guys in front, the top 50 A riders are really at another next level compared to the rest of all the A riders, and then of course you got the gold class, which they're in a whole nother league of their own. But the top guys would have, I think, got fresh terrain. The course wouldn't be so chewed up, and they would have been able to tackle some of these big hills much easier than the back of the pack guys. It's almost like a different race for the guys in the back of the pack. We got it. We got a different looking course than what they had. So yesterday in the Prologue we went left there. Now the main race we're turning right. So this is all new course here. Got a really sharp right hand turn there, and I haven't shaved off my little turn stop, which if I did, those tight turns would be a lot easier. Now I got these are pretty steep downhills, and they're really tight, rocky, and I do a lot of engine off just for a little bit more control. I know a lot of y'all will be engine on, just racing down these, but I do a little engine off just at my level to stay a little bit more in control. And it's tight through the trees here, so you got to be on your A game the whole time. You can see I'm doing a lot of foot dabbing, which I know I don't want to be doing the foot dabbing, but it happens. All right, go get them! Hell yeah, go get them! The whole course had a lot of this real tight up and down through the trees where you had to stay on the main line. And there's a couple guys that overshot the turn, and they got off the main line, and they would see them like 20 feet down from the trail. And the look on their face was just like despair. They knew they were in a world of hurt, and they needed someone to come save them. So a lot of that happened today, of helping other riders out get through the obstacles or get back on the track. I did a lot of helping myself, and people helped me out as well. All right, one thing to say about today's ride, I have a different chest mount setup than yesterday. I'm trying out a new battery pack. It's supposed to last 5 hours, and it does last longer, but it's big and heavy, and it starts flopping down on your chest. And so this is my first time using it. Yes, I went into battle with an unproven rifle here, so using this piece of gear, I wish I would have used it on a different ride so I could have tested it out a little bit better, but live and learn. It needs to be some way. I need to like safety wire or a zip tie the top of it so it can't flop down, even though I had to wrench that GoPro mount tight. You know, we used to hit a lot of these bumps and jolts. It just caused that the battery pack with the GoPro in it to start flopping down, so then you're just getting you're getting like 30 minutes of crotch time. So there you go, I pushed it back up finally. It got bad. It was basically looking right at my nuts. And but you know, if I next time, definitely, I did like it because the battery life, you're not having to stop and change batteries all the time. But I just need to keep that front end up. All right, so here we're doing a little zigzag down the course here. Silver Mountain is on a ski resort, so a lot of these climbs are you just going up and down the ski runs. They're very steep, and of course in snow time, it's all covered in snow. It looks smooth, you know, got some bumps, but now you can see all the exposed rocks and roots and fallen trees and branches, stuff like that. Yeah, get some breath. Catch your breath there, buddy. Got a long ways to go. Got someone behind me. It's one benefit of having your engine off. You can hear the guy behind you, unless they have their engine off. Then you're both like stealth coming down the mountain. No one can hear anyone. Now I got a rider right behind me. It's one of the pro women's, Melly DeJong. I said it right. But we're gonna see her later. We're gonna get through the hill, come down later in the race. We go through this woods section. we had to help each other out and get over it. So I helped pull her bike through. She helped pull my bike through. And it's great to see even the pro riders still helping people through. So that was awesome. Oh, almost overshot that. So the course is pretty well marked today. They had blue ribbon marking that you're on the course. They had red and white ribbon marked for out of bounds and no-go zones. So pretty much it was pretty easy to find the course. There was there gets some of the climbing sections where you're kind of just finding any way to get up, going left and right, and people are making new lines. And there was one part where there was a line that went off to nowhere, and I saw people go up, and they were turning around and come back down, and they were saying, yeah, that there's no more blue ribbon. So, but for the most part, it was well-marked trail today. Real tight through here. A lot of idling. Pretty overgrown. You know, of course, they were just coming off a snow melt. There was snow here last year, they said, but it's a week later in the season. Earlier this week, it had snowed and rained a little bit, so the dirt in the terrain was nice and moist. It was almost no dust on the trail, which is so nice. When you race, even trail riding, the dust is just an element of inconvenience that you don't want. I know it's inevitable in especially dry conditions, but to have it just packed down with no dust, it's a luxury that you just gotta take and appreciate when you can get it. Still not going that fast. Sorry, folks. I need to become a faster rider through the tight section here. But like I said, it's a chess game. You can burn yourself out. You can make a bad fall here. You know, they never know if there's a rock or a little branch or something might be sticking out, and you can crash early. You can take yourself out of the game early, and you don't want to do that. Now the top tier guys, they'd be flying through here. They'd be going a lot faster because they know you go through the tight woods section, the hard bottleneck section. They got to get as far up as they can because once the bottlenecks start, you're either going for the extreme hard line or you're wasting a lot of time just waiting in line, waiting for your turn. Now on the riders meeting, they tell you that this mountain has moose on it. It's got elk, bears, all kinds of wildlife, and of course there's deer all over the place. And was it 2 weeks ago I did the snowy trail, or maybe 3 weeks ago, and had a bear run out in front of me. So having that in the back of my head, I'm picturing like I'm gonna see a moose or something run out in front of me today. Oh, watch out! There's a guy standing on the side of the trail. What was he doing? There was a lot of spectators out watching and walking up and down the trail, but some of the places, like a random guy just in the middle there. There's no one else with him. He's just out there standing. Not a hard, difficult section, but you know, he's seeing a part of the trail other people aren't. There was I think a mother and father out here watching their son. His name is Carter. He was 15, and there was a section where he was like right behind me, and his parents, they're just walking like basically right next to him, cheering him on, talking him through.
Pull over.
I got a guy right behind me. I got to pull over a little bit. Not much room, but there you go, buddy.
Good luck.
Good luck. Yep. But his parents are just walking through as he's riding through, which, you know, that's great. To seeing the 15-year-olds tackling this hard level of terrain it's just exciting to see where they're going to be in a couple of years. You know, I'm like, man, I'm going to remember his name, Carter, and he's going to be a beast. I guarantee you, he's going to be a couple of years. He's going to be one of the top guys out here. Here's that GoPro. See, it just starts flopping down, and all you're looking at is my beautiful bike down there. I got new graphics. I don't think I showed anyone. I got new graphics. Really was excited to get the new graphics on there. And they turned out really good. All right, here is the big first hill of the day. This took a while. Had to be patient, but definitely there was people out here making it hard for themselves. You know, picking bad lines, having their bikes flop over on them, having to deadlift their bike up. They just spent a ton of energy. I knew that, so I was definitely playing it safe, being patient. If I was in top level condition, like if I was in my conditioning of 5 years ago, I definitely would be taking a lot more risks. But knowing I'm coming off my being sick last weekend, bedridden for 2 days, I knew that I need to play it safe so that I'm able, you know, I don't take myself out. I can just keep going. So the hill's pretty steep, but you can see the dirt there. It was grippy. I mean, it did have some roots, and the grass made it really slick. It did have rocks mixed in that would give way under you, but for the that guy. You don't want to be that guy, just dropping your bike, having to pick it up, dropping it, having to pick it up. You just wear yourself out. So it's this really wide climb, and you're crisscrossing. There isn't one main line. There's actually many lines of people trying to get up every which way. There, thanks for the help there, buddy. I'll take it. And some of these guys, as you're going up, they're on the other line, and you cross their paths. So you'd see each other, you go out, make a pivot, you come back, see each other, go out, make a pivot, see each other. So you're seeing the same guy over and over and over this big climb. All right, aiming with the rear. If you guys been watching Rich Larson, the IRC channel, he's always preaching about you aim with the rear tire overshoot the obstacle. So that's what I'm doing. Did that good. So you get that rear tire up on the line. That way you just have to drop the front down. It works pretty good. The guy knows what he's talking about. I'll say that. Got someone overheating there to the right. Yeah, I've never had my bike overheat other than when that fan went out. But a lot of these guys don't have fans. I'd recommend getting a fan on your bike, because if you do hard enduro, you gotta look forward to stuff like this, where it is a lot of just going nowhere and spinning your tires. Your bike's gonna get hot. Get off, do a little push, a little walk with the bike. Here's a staff guy.
Classic 4-stroke flame out.
Hell yeah. Gotta get that in. Anyways, there was a lot of staff people helping direct people. They weren't actually helping any riders up the hill, but they were just kind of helping direct traffic and letting people know that they could take a different line and get up. Because there was quite a few people struggling here. Now the guy that I parked next to, his name is David, and he waited. So whereas I was just kind of going through, taking my time. I know yeah, it's not easy. It's not like you're gonna be able to get through this without using any energy. But I wasn't working harder than I'd say I was probably one of the guys working the least getting up this hill. I just be patient, keeping my bike standing up, and trying to get the most traction out of it. But anyways, David, he waited till the hill cleared out. So he was like one of the last people to go up. And he said when it's clear, he could just keep on the gas, and he was able to get up this hill pretty easy. So that's another option. You know, you guys, if you don't want to wait in line, if you wait till the end, you're gonna have a clear shot and pick your way up. But you still can get timed out. So the longer you wait, it's a gamble. You know, if you can actually make it through here. And like I said, if I had my endurance up, which my goal is now for the Donner Hard Enduro coming up, is to get some serious training in, get my endurance up so that I'm going to be able to attack these hills and be a lot more aggressive on getting up the hill climbs here. So there were a lot of people attacking this hill, making a lot of passes. And every time you'd see a guy just rah, 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 and he'd pass like 5 or 6 people, rest a little bit, and then he'd get on it. Rah, and, you know, they made it pretty quick work of the hill. I want to be at that level. That's the level I want to be at. So. All right, we're at the top of the hill. You got this big rut to the left with a bunch of roots. I don't want to hit that. So I make this really nice high line run, avoid all those roots. And the bike just tracted right up. Done with the big first hill. Kind of relieved. Already out of water. Had to refill the water pack up. I had 2 extra bottles with me. Thank God I did. And then where I'm parked, this is where I sent it down the hill and darted into the guy's right on the other side of that tree there. I felt bad for him, but yeah, I made that pivot. Bike went over the tree around and just took off like a missile downhill. Now here we are. Came to a spot in the trees where you could go left or right, and actually middle, and left, right. It was just total chaos going up this mountain right here, and you had to choose left or right. Well, I chose left, and that was the bad choice. Anyways, this is where I teamed up with several riders. That Melly girl that passed me before, she was there, and we had to team up, get over. It was just really hard. And from there, it just continued how hard it was. You had to team up, get over these bunch of roots that were just, if you didn't clear them the first time, your back tire would just be hanging in the air, and it was a lot of work. Unfortunately, this is all the footage I have for today. I should have made it to checkpoint 2. I had run out of water. There was I think 5 more minutes, which was just a little up and down. David did it. And he finished checkpoint 2 and got time, so I wish I would have done that and got my time for checkpoint 2. So I know I can do that, so next year we're going to be aiming for checkpoint 3 and beyond. With that, we're going to bring this one to a close. My GoPro was done. This, I know it's a short video, but I had like 5 hours. A lot of it was resting. Hope you enjoyed it. And until the next video, get out, ride, and get some. Ew!